Hey everyone, it's me. Wanted to give a quick little warning before the episode starts. I just recently moved, and I'm in the process of making a recording space for the show, but the materials haven't come in yet, and that takes some time that I currently don't have with this job and everything else. So the warning comes with I am stationed kind of right next to a somewhat busy highway, so I'm going to try and edit out as much of the car sounds as I can, but I will probably not be able to get to all of them, and I do apologize for that. So if the audio sounds a bit weird for the next few episodes, that's why. Like I said, I'm going to try and do my best to get them all out, but if there's an occasional hum or the roar of the truck, I do apologize. That was it. Enjoy the show.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. My name is Billy Two Legs. Why am I called Two Legs? Well, I didn't really have a lot of time to come up with my gangster name. Plus, I ain't ever been that good at all the thinking stuff. Anyway, I'm here to give you a little recap, because the story can get a little out of hand. I mean, friggin' ghosts and zombies, and now there's some janitor and a dude with two skulls floating around in a helmet. It's nuts. How's someone even supposed to keep track of all of that? So, Eldridge Jenny, everyone's favorite demonic taxi driver, gets taken into the police station on account of murder. That little thing killing all kinds of people, it's hard to believe. Then again, I did see someone whack another guy with nothing more than a paperclip and a rubber band, so I guess stranger things have happened. When she gets in the prison, she's confronted by Atlas Park's greatest villains, Dr. Phantasmo and Sliceable. It seems like the two have some dark plans in store, and Jenny seems to be the key to it. Long story short, huge red portals open up, and some creepy freak named Bellick comes through and tells Jenny that he's taking her to a real father, some guy named the Mad King Archimedes. Meanwhile, Ray and other Ray were planning on getting down to the police station, but the sentient car they were in took them to an abandoned warehouse instead. A warehouse filled to the brim with tentacles. The two detectives get inside, and there's Jenny's father, the janitor Dale, and that dude with the skulls who calls himself Professor DETHORN. Well, my job here is done. I think I'm gonna go steal some milk from Irma's milk booth. Billy Two Legs is mighty thirsty. Enjoy the third part of Ray Costley and the Court of Red. Or else, Billy Two Legs knows where you live. Billy Two Legs knows what car you drive. Billy Two Legs knows.
Ray Costley and the Court of Red, Part 3.
What's wrong, little Jenny? I assumed you would be happy to see your father again. It's been ages since you were together.
The air inside the prison was growing hot, electricity seeming to fill every crack inside the room. The blood-red glow pouring from the portal seemed to be growing brighter and brighter until eventually there wasn't a single dark corner to be found. Everything was basking in the red glow now. Eldritch Jenny's eyes kept moving from Bellick's to the portal, expecting something else to come poking its way out. Perhaps it would be another guard like Bellick's, or maybe, just maybe, it would be her father. The thought terrified her, just as it always had. She had had dreams of meeting the Mad King again, and it had always left her in a state of frantic panic. Deep down,
She knew that if Archimedes ever got his hands on her, she'd never see this world again. Well, not until it was completely destroyed. Her father would see to that. She then began to think about her dad, Dale. The poor man, always trying to keep her from the darkness that seemed to constantly be pulling at her, trying to strangle her like the tentacles lodged inside her mouth. He was a good man, one of the few in this world, but he didn't have any powers. He wasn't immortal, nor could he bend the very fabric of reality like Archimedes could. All he had to offer was love and adoration, and while both were great, neither would be enough to keep a god from getting exactly what he wanted.
Jenny, are you going to answer me?
I'm not sure you want her to open up her mouth, Mr. Bellick, sir.
Yes, she has a nasty habit of letting those tendrils out to wreak havoc.
Oh, I'm well aware of that little fact, gentlemen. In fact, I know what those tentacles are, as well as how to get rid of them. Wouldn't you like that, Jenny? Wouldn't you like to be able to speak like everyone else? You know why you have those tendrils in your mouth, don't you?
Jenny shook her head.
Think of them as a cage, locking up your true potential. You have all the powers of the Mad King, maybe even more. Dale, that pathetic fool of a man, never wanted you to be great, never wanted you to be feared as you should. So, he found someone to cast a spell on you. It backfired, leaving you with those nasty things past your lips. Dale put you in harm's way just so you'd never be able to unlock the abilities hidden inside. He could have killed you, sending you to that mage. If you come with me, we can reverse all of it, and you can sit at the right hand of your father, where you should have always been in the first place.
Jenny began to shiver. She couldn't recall her dad ever taking her to some magic user. She had always had these tentacles. At least, that was what she believed. Could that not have been the case? Could there have been a part of her past that she no longer remembered? As she pondered, there came groans and whispers from the portal, a chorus of 1,000 voices seeming to cry out to her. Bellick smiled, stretching his hands out even further.
Come now, little one. Time is wasting, and there is so much to do.
Back at the Biscuit warehouse, both of the Rays just stared at Dale, their mouths hanging wide open. DETHORN rested his back against a pillar, his body language speaking volumes of his frustration. It was clear he was not hoping to be here for as long as they were. Whoa. Jenny's the daughter of some kind of demigod? Yep, the byproduct of a summer love that turned sour. And now you understand why her kidnapping is a threat to all reality. Archimedes cannot get his hands on Jenny.
Then we're definitely going with you to stop this Bellick's guy.
I still don't think that's a good idea. You're too emotionally attached. You both could become a hindrance. Well, thankfully, you don't have a say in the matter. Jenny is our friend, so we're going. DETHORN looked as if he was about to argue further, but he slumped his shoulders instead, just shaking his head. Fine, but the very moment either of you gets in my way, I will not hesitate to get rid of you, understand? Deal. It's settled then. Now, before we head out, I need to find the source of all these tentacles. Don't need another biscuit factory being destroyed by eldritch oddities.
Have any theories as to what caused all this? Plenty, actually. And let me guess, you won't indulge me with any of them. You catch on pretty quickly, Mr. Costly. Now you stay here with Dale. I'll be back shortly. The professor quickly spun on his heels and headed down the hallway he had just come from, disappearing into the darkness in mere moments. For a while, the sound of his gigantic boots clacking against the concrete was the only thing that filled the air. The Rays and Dale all looked at each other, all three of them shrugging. Dale, how'd you end up meeting Mr. Fish Tank for a head? DETHORN? Oh, well, I was asked to come over here to clean up after the second shift was done, and as soon as I got in, that's when all these tentacles seemed to just pour out of the ground. I hid myself in the supply closet and didn't come out until DETHORN found me. He just knew you'd be here? No, I don't think so. He seemed surprised to have found another survivor, let alone the father of Eldritch Jenny. He told me the Manhattan Project had been keeping an eye on Archimedes for a while now, and they knew he was going to make a move to... Hey, don't cry. Don't cry, Dale. Yeah, we're gonna get Jenny back. Don't worry. You know what's funny? When I was younger, much younger, mind you, I was the guy who swore up and down that I'd never, ever have a kid. I thought they would only keep me away from living life to the fullest. What kind of life could I have with some screaming, crying baby back home? No, sir, I'd keep telling myself. I wasn't about to let that happen to me. Then I met Archie. Oh, he was a handsome devil. Brilliantly red hair that glistened like flames in the night, purple eyes that held all the stars within them, and that smile... Oh, that smile is something I will never, ever forget. The first time I saw it, I nearly fell to the floor and died. I really thought I had gone to heaven the night we met. He looked me over just once, and with a confident smile, he said, "Something tells me our lives are going to be intertwined very soon." It was such a weird greeting, but something about him made it impossible to turn and walk the other way. I think he noticed this, 'cause he just started laughing. It was a powerful laugh, but not in an intimidating way. Heck, I started laughing too. There we were, two strangers laughing our heads off on a cold December night. People stopped and stared, thinking there was something wrong with us. Maybe there was, but I didn't care. We started dating after that, and not too long into our sporadic romance, he introduced me to his daughter, Jenny. I didn't know what to do. I never wanted a kid, and here was my ideal soulmate with a child of his own. I gotta tell you, the first couple of months were awkward for Jenny and I. I didn't know how to handle a child, and she didn't know what to do with this new adult in her father's life. I suppose there was a time where she assumed I was going to take all of Archimedes' attention, that she'd be forgotten. But that would never happen. Archimedes loved that little girl. Jenny was his whole world. What happened then? Why is Archimedes trying to hurt her if he cared so much about her? Something took over Archimedes. Something evil. Something vile. His appearance changed with his personality. He had become a monster in every way, and for some reason, the tentacles inside Jenny's mouth was the key to whatever insidious plans he had. Dale began to shake, clenching his hands into fists. One night he tried to rip out her tentacles, and I barely got Jenny out of the house before he could finish the act.
I took us to a witch who was able to temporarily banish Archimedes to some sort of pocket dimension, but I guess he's found a way to break out. And now he has my little girl. He's going to try and hurt her again.
Well, he's not going to have a chance to lay a hand on her, Mr. Dale.
Yeah, hell, Jenny could probably kick Archimedes' butt across the floor without our help. I suppose you're right. She's always been a fighter. Still, I want you both to promise me that you won't let him take her. You've got our word, Dale. Jenny will be back before midnight tonight. I guarantee it. Just then, the El Camino came flying into the warehouse, but not by its own accord. It smashed against the ground, the doors having been ripped off the hinges. Oil poured from it, making the ground slick with black liquid. Not too long after, Professor DETHORN was thrown through the hole, slapping hard against the flipped car.
Holy crap!
DETHORN! Don't come over here. Stay back. Before anyone could move, a titan of a figure came dashing into the new hole in the warehouse. It was completely clad in shadows except for its glowing red eyes that were staring right at the two rays.
Ray Costly, the Court of Red has declared you a contagion. Prepare to be cleansed in the Mad King's flames.